What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are starting our day at the bank. I need to run inside and get a bank check. My dad bought a new salt spreader, which we actually already took delivery of. Rodrigo met the guy at our Orange County yard first thing this morning. It's currently 8:35. The bank just opened 5 minutes ago, so I had to wait to get the check. The guy drove up with the salt spreader on a trailer overnight to avoid traffic and also DOT stops. So he got to our Orange County yard at like 2 a.m., slept in his truck for a few hours. Rodrigo and Anthony met him there this morning. They got the salt spreader unloaded, but he's just hanging out, waiting for me to get there. So let me run inside, get the check, and then we have about a half-hour ride over to our Orange County yard. All right, guys, here is the new salt spreader. This is a 14-foot Monroe spreader. This has two 400-gallon liquid tanks strapped to each side. Absolutely massive liquid tanks. I don't think we need that much, but we do have 6,000 gallons stored here, so we can definitely fill it up. This is a chain-driven spreader, pretty decent shape. We got it for a good price. It also got delivered, which is nice. It came from Maryland. I don't know if it was actually in Maryland or the guy who sold it to us just flips truck parts and salt spreader parts or whatever, but he has a plow in the bed of his truck which he's selling to someone in Jersey, so I don't really know what his deal is. The only issue we have is this is a hydraulic pump for the liquid here, so we need to switch this over to an electric pump. We don't run hydraulic pumps on any of our trucks for the liquid. So one thing that we need to clean up, but overall it is in decent shape. It is a very nice setup on the back here. I've never seen one that has a ladder like this. Actually kind of want to climb up it, but there's also a pin here. There is a hook to this cable. The wheel is in rough shape, but you hook this right here and then you crank it and you put the spinner down nice and easy. Let's see, hopefully this thing is balanced. I should be able to climb up here. There we go. It's pretty nice having a ladder like this to get up on top of the spreader. Also very sturdy, so it doesn't shake at all. Grates aren't in bad shape either. A little bit of surface rust, but that's pretty typical on salt spreader grates. I don't know why they don't make the grates in stainless like they do. The rest of the spreader probably cut down on costs, but obviously the salt touches them every time you load the truck. Also, when it's full, the salt's kind of just sitting on them. Overall, I think it was a good purchase. I don't know if we're actually going to use this or not, though. The reason we bought this salt spreader is to put in the new tandem if the auger setup doesn't work. We did get that truck back from Phil Ortiz and dropped it in our Dutchess yard. I haven't really shown too much of that. If you saw yesterday's video, you know what I'm talking about, but this salt spreader might possibly be going in that truck if the auger setup doesn't work as we wanted to. But let's go take a walk over to the salt bin for a second. I got Rodrigo and Anthony here. They're rinsing out this liquid tank. This truck is used just to pre-wet the roads, but the new liquid that we got, I'll explain that in a little bit. The new liquid can't be mixed with the old liquid for some reason, probably like chemical reaction, I'm guessing, but they're rinsing that out with water so that we can put the new liquid in there. All right, guys, over here we have our two 3,000-gallon liquid tanks. If you don't know what I'm talking about, these are brand new tanks to us. We just poured this concrete slab here. We just got these tanks delivered, and the company that we got them from came and installed these valves on them. After they installed the valves, they asked us to fill them up with a little bit of water above the valve to basically pressure test them and make sure there were no leaks. They sat for a few days, there was no leaks at all. So this morning we are draining all of the water out. That is why the concrete is wet. They're still dripping a little bit. You can see a little bit of water coming out of each of these. One thing that is going to happen, though, there will be a little bit of water in the bottom of these tanks because obviously the valve is not at the very bottom. So once we get our delivery, which is scheduled, I don't know exactly when it's coming, but it should be pretty soon, we're going to fill these up, and then we're going to have to pump some liquid into one of our trucks just to try and get as much of the water from the bottom out as possible. Obviously, once they fill them, the water's kind of going to mix up with the liquid, and you're not going to get all of it out, but we're going to get as much as possible. One thing that happened as well is all the extra concrete that was stacked here got cleaned up. There's still the concrete forms on the slab. I don't know if we're going to strip them or not. It doesn't really make a difference. It's not like this is a house or anything. It's kind of acting as extra protection for the slab right now, so we might leave it. But moving on over here, I spoke about our salt bin recently and how we were trying to get it paved. Last year we didn't fill up this bin towards the end of the season because we knew that the blacktop in here is in rough shape. You can see right here it's like 2 different levels. Obviously it's like a patch job. There looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 different times that this was paved here. Obviously the parking lot is its own section as well, but when the salt gets dumped, you're pushing the salt from like probably, I would say, like sometimes out here, if not even farther. So your bucket's on the ground all the way here, and then once you hit a different level of blacktop, sometimes it chips it, and then you get small pieces of blacktop mixed in with your salt, which then could possibly jam up the salt spreader, and also you're now dropping it out on the road. So a little bit of an issue with that. I believe right here where this crack is where there's a really bad lip, and when you come in with the bucket, it catches it almost every time. So what we've been doing is leaving the bucket up just a hair and then driving on top of the salt that you're not scraping up and then pushing the pile back. But unfortunately this bin is not getting paved this year, so that moves on to the salt that is in here. This salt has been here for a while. We don't know if there's blacktop mixed in with the salt, so tomorrow we're coming here, we're going to use one of our machines, break it all up. A lot of it is pretty like rock hard from sitting. This salt's been sitting for like probably years, honestly, because it's been in the back of our bin, and our bins never get empty. So once we have a storm and we use a bunch of salt, we get a delivery, and then the salt in the back just never gets touched. So I'm sure this is probably rock hard. It looks like, yeah, at least the outside shell is rock hard on it. But we're gonna come here tomorrow, break it all up, clean out any blacktop that is in here, and then stack it back in the corner. We have a salt delivery scheduled for, I believe, Monday or Tuesday. So liquid is scheduled, we're getting a delivery of that soon. Salt is scheduled, we're getting a delivery of that next week. And it is the middle of November, so we don't really have much time to waste. Luckily, we haven't had any snow yet, just a few flurries. I know upstate New York got like 5 or 6 inches this week. Actually, I think it was like Tuesday, so like 2 days ago, they got quite a bit of snow. So as long as it stays up there right now, we're in good shape. Once it starts snowing here, things are going to change. But that is going to wrap it up for this one. If you guys have any questions or comments, definitely leave them down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Peace.